From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
Some new rules for marijuana dispensaries just a step away from becoming law at the legislative session in Helena. Just ahead, learn how those rules could make it much more difficult for dispensaries to find a place to locate.
I see them craving something that is tactile.
At 6:35, see how hard work at a local student paper is growing the next generation of journalists. Love that. 6:30, Chet Lehman, Matt Elwell with you here on this weather challenging Friday and a lead into a very challenging weather weekend.
It really is, and it looks like our
There it is.
Yeah, Chester. I feel like we got in trouble. Chester.
My name is actually Chester. I go by Chet. It is my legal name, Chester.
Yeah,
Matthew.
but usually when you're called those names,
I know I'm in trouble.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Apparently we did something wrong. In all seriousness, it is dangerous out there. The temperatures have been above the freezing mark. We've had some moisture, some ice on the roadways. Now we're adding snow to that. That morning commute, while it may not look all that bad because of lighter snow, it is dangerous. Snow and ice on Bozeman Pass, Homestake Pass, and snow and ice down Gallatin Canyon. Not a ton of accidents at this point, still early. We're going to see that snow continue to band its way through here. We'll see some periods of heavy snow. It may not last all day. We'll get some breaks, but unfortunately our temperature is going to tumble throughout the day, and that really compounds the issue. And that's as that colder air begins to march our way back this direction. We're going to talk about the impacts that may have from the weather patio coming up in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Matt. Some tense news to start off this half hour. A manhunt underway in High Ore Basin area of Jefferson County for a man wanted by U.S. Marshals. Jefferson County Sheriff's Office says deputies attempted to pull the man over for a traffic stop before he led deputies on a chase that ended in the High Ore area. According to Montana Highway Patrol, the suspect was warrants for kidnapping and strangulation. There are cautions that he is armed and dangerous. MHP says the man was last seen wearing a Carhartt jacket and black jeans. Now, if you are in that area, you're asked to lock your vehicles and your doors. Again, that is Matt with an update just moments ago telling us that man has been apprehended. So we'll continue to follow that and update it later here on Montana This Morning. Meantime, in other headlines, a fire heavily damaged a detached garage to a home in Butte on Thursday evening. Butte firefighters responded to an alley in the area of Dewey Boulevard and Oregon Street about 5:30 in the evening to a fire in a garage. Building was unoccupied at the time of that blaze. No cause has been reported as of this evening. 6:32 now. Montana lawmakers heard testimony on a bill that would put new limits on where in the state marijuana dispensaries can operate. MTN senior political reporter Jonathan Ambarian takes a closer look at how it would affect marijuana businesses in Montana.
On Thursday, the House Human Services Committee considered a bill that supporters say would address some local communities' concerns about marijuana businesses, but business owners say is an unnecessary imposition.
Currently, marijuana businesses must be at least 500 feet from all schools or places of worship if they're on the same street. House Bill 265 would increase that distance to 1,000 feet between any corner of the buildings. Businesses closer than that would have to move by 2024. Representative Tanner Smith, a Republican from Lakeside, sponsored the bill. He said he was concerned about a dispensary adjacent to a school property in his community. And residents in Roberts protested against one, now closed, that was across the street from their school.
So our 8-year-olds, every time they go down that slide, see marijuana dispensary, marijuana dispensary, marijuana dispensary. And that sign is now down, but that sign was up for 4 months. And that is the repetition of practice that our kids got coming off the slide.
The bill would also prohibit any new adult use or medical marijuana dispensary from operating in a voting precinct where most voters oppose the 2020 legalization vote. Existing businesses in those areas could remain unless their license is suspended. Marijuana business representatives said the proposal was responding to something that should be handled at the local level and could threaten existing businesses.
If we have local problems with marijuana, let our local governments deal with that. Flathead County has all of the power to do what they want in their county as per 701.
I mean, really, the way this bill is set up, it is in some ways, sort of like sets the chessboard to pick off dispensaries throughout the state.
Also on Thursday, the committee heard testimony on a bill that would allow money from Montana's Heart Fund to go toward youth suicide prevention. Much of the money in the Heart Fund comes from tax revenue from Montana marijuana sales. In Helena, Jonathan Amberian, MTN News.
In other news from the state capitol, the Montana Senate passed a bill that seeks to challenge the state Supreme Court ruling that established a right to abortion in Montana. Senate Bill 154, sponsored by Republican Keith Regier of Kalispell, passed 28-21 on a final vote yesterday. 6 Republicans joined all Democrats in opposing the bill. The bill would state the right of individual privacy in Montana Constitution cannot be interpreted to create a right to abortion or government funding of abortion. In the 1999 case, Armstrong versus the state of Montana, the Montana Supreme Court ruled that the provision did give women the right to an abortion before fetal viability. Supporters of SB 154 say the court's decision was a misinterpretation and abortion should not be considered an individual act. Opponents said the bill went beyond the legislator's authority. That bill will now move to the Montana House. Well, we are in the midst of our annual News Literacy Week, a time to reflect on how you can be a better news consumer and how we can be a better press. We decided to pull back the curtain on how what you are watching right now comes together. How is the news made? Scripps News national congressional correspondent Nathaniel Reed shows us.
You're used to seeing reporters like me stand in places like this. But before I appear on your screen, there's a long, thorough process to make sure that we uphold our standards and what we're reporting is fair, accurate, and true.
When it comes to politics, the idea for a story might start here in the halls of the U.S. Capitol. Could be a tip from a source, a key piece of legislation, or a question from one of our 70 bureaus and stations across the country.
It's a similar process here at the White House, where Scripps reporters and producers work hand in hand with our teams across the country, working to get to the truth.
As Scripps News Politics Director, I'm in constant contact with our politics team, talking about how to cover the biggest stories of the day, all through the lens of what matters to you, the viewer, most. And we bring those ideas to our company-wide editorial meetings.
Every available Scripps News employee is on these calls. We talk through ideas, we craft them, because we want to make sure our stories are relevant to your life. But we're always searching for the truth, and we're always striving to be fair.
Each show on Scripps News has an entire editorial team behind it, working together to bring the ideas to life, thinking about every aspect of what you see and hear.
We work in a program called iNews, and in here we put graphics, on-screen text, even anchor scripts.
I review what I'm going to say with a team of Scripps News editors. They check for things like accuracy and fairness.
This is the last stop, the control room. Another team here brings the story to life.
And that's the process, an entire team spread out across the country, all making sure that the information we're reporting you can trust. I'm Nathaniel Reed at the U.S. Capitol.
All right, staying on topic now as part of our News Literacy Week, MTN's Edgar Cedillo sat down with Gallatin High School students as they navigate creating a student newspaper.
There's a lot that goes into starting a new high school. You find your groove and start those traditions that will carry on for a lifetime. Some students at Gallatin High School felt like one thing was missing when the high school first opened, and that was a student newspaper. So a group of them got together and started their own. They printed their first paper back in 2022. So now they work together to tell the stories of the students and that of the community.
I especially love the community, getting to meet all these amazing people.
For the staff at the Raptor Report, Gallatin High School's student newspaper, Community, is at the forefront of the stories they tell in their newspaper.
I don't think that I quite expected that for my first article, but I had just joined newspaper.
Their first edition was published back in November. One of their first major stories they covered was the tragic death of Bozeman High School teacher Kelly Fulton.
I talked to tons of kids who had him as a teacher and who just had nothing but good things to say about him.
The students meet on Mondays to discuss and brainstorm ideas for their next edition.
A little chaotic, but I just sort of end up piecing it all together for different issues.
Many of the students say they get their ideas from what they're seeing in person, but they still draw inspiration from what they see online.
For me, it's pretty big because people tend to only access a lot now. Accessing art is very online.
The newspaper isn't created for a class. Instead, it's a club. Ms. Warren, who serves as their advisor, says the students have hit the ground running to get the newspaper up and running.
They have a good breadth of knowledge for sourcing and for finding good information.
Ms. Warren says she taught them the basics of journalism at the beginning.
Make sure you're talking to more than one person. make sure that you're verifying your information.
This group of about 20 students are the first reporters. They're writing down the history for Bozeman's newest high school, picking the course they want the Raptor Report to head in.
Also making sure that everything relates back to the school, because that's how people read the school newspaper, to hear about the students' lives and what's actually going on in GHS.
They say they're glad to tell the stories that they're passionate about, even joking that their editor hasn't turned a story down. They're glad to work together to inform their fellow Raptors.
It's a whole group of people that are interested in the same thing that I'm interested in and that I have that thing in common with.
In Bozeman, Edgar Cedillo, MTN News.